Way back when I was a little jit, my mom would randomly bring a bunch of hand-me-down games from her job and she would give them to me. Sometimes I hit the jackpot and my mom brings home some bangers, and some days I would get games that I have never even heard of, just like Nicktoons Freeze Frame Frenzy. I have never met anyone that has ever played this game, but maybe one of you guys have heard of it. I doubt it though. Why am I playing this absurd game, you ask? I am on a mission to beat all the childhood games I've played but never finished, because I was so ass at the game that I could never finish it as a kid. So I need my get back. So you're probably looking at this and saying, what the fuck is this? I have never even heard of this. Allow me to explain what is happening. So this game is basically just Pokemon Snap but Nickelodeon characters. But seriously, Jimmy Neutron here is our main man. He is the captain and we basically just glaze him the whole time and we just listen to him. So he tells us that someone is transferring Nickelodeon characters out of their own world into different worlds. So basically we just take pictures of the wrong characters and it sends them home, while also trying to figure out who the villain is. And yeah, that's the premise of the game. As soon as you open up the game, you are not only greeted by one banger, but you're greeted by two. So Jimmy Neutron first sends us to Dimsdale, California in the Fairly Odd Parents verse. For this world, of course I'm going with my boy SpongeBob, come on now. The gameplay is honestly not too hard. I'm basically just moving around, jumping up and down and spamming the right trigger the whole time just to take pictures. But the Fairly Odd Parents world is pretty cool. It's cool seeing all these characters that you watched as a kid in game, and I'm pretty sure it was cool for me as a kid seeing these characters in game also. Like this scene, the Crimson Chin is getting chased by Jenny Robot, and Jenny Robot is at the same time getting chased by the Flying Dutchman. Like, what the fuck is happening? I like how they didn't just throw in the characters randomly in the game. Like over here we got Robot Vicky, obviously referencing a certain episode from Fairly Odd Parents.
Fear my sitting butt!
And then some scenes like this, like look at Squidward, bro. I did not expect seeing him there. It's just like so random seeing him there, and it's just funny seeing him in this world. This part here was also funny to me, like everyone be glazing Trisha in the show. And look at Timmy. Timmy's smiling and shit while she's getting glazed. Like this is the shit that happens in the show, and it was pretty cool seeing it while playing the game, because I haven't watched these shows in a while. And look at Crocker's creepy staring at them, bro. Like what the? And bro, I'm not gonna lie, seeing Francis do this shit is like, what are you, like, you put it in your pants and all of a sudden it's in your mouth. What is bro doing? Bro is diabolical. Bro is dirty. And speaking of nasty, of course Nickelodeon had us sneak in a shot.
Really, nigga?
Nickelodeon is not slick, bro. They not slick. Anyways, seeing this principal also tied up like this was pretty funny. Actually, not even funny. It was just satisfying because he was so annoying in the show. Her name is like Waxel Plax or something. I don't even know her name. She's just mad annoying, bro. And just like that, I made it to the boss of the map. So every boss is like a robot imposter. Obviously, someone put these motherfucking robots somewhere and they're spawning in these characters from different worlds. This boss here, I'm fighting, I believe Eddie Valentine from Rocket Power. Personally, I never watched Rocket Power. I think I was too young for that shit, or I just never seen it come on. Eddie Valentine was giving me the works, bro. Eddie Robot was fucking me up. This boss was the hardest boss in the game, and ironically it's the first boss. So my one and only death in this game came from this fucking mission from Eddie Valentine. It was pretty humbling, but we press continue and we go on. And he ended up being pretty dog water the second time. I ended up beating him pretty fast. Now that I fixed the Fairly Odd Parents world, we on to the next. And next up, we are headed to Bikini Bottom. The SpongeBob world was just a treat. If you've been watching this channel, you know I love SpongeBob because a lot of the clips I use are from SpongeBob. So I went with Timmy Turner and we out. Everything about this verse was just so beautiful. The architecture, the music, the people, it was just straight vibes over here. Going through this world was a whole fever dream, not gonna lie. I was pretty up there playing this game, so it makes sense. But because I was so familiar with SpongeBob, I almost caught every reference. SpongeBob soaking up all the water in the bathtub, Patrick's cowboy outfit, SpongeBob falling on top of that tree into the mud, a Doodle Bob reference. Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy even made an appearance. We even got Chester and AJ and Vicky in here, bro. Miss Puff being a badass driver, of course. Plankton as Crab, motherfucking Bubble Bass, the infamous Hook episode.
Near another
the Flying Dutchman and its creepy ass ghost. They even got Squidward in here eating too many Krabby Patties. Again, the game isn't too hard, so I pretty much sped through the world. The robot boss ended up being Dr. Fenton. The Dr. Fenton robot was pretty easy. He was pretty much dog water. So after saving Bikini Bottom, we are now headed over to Ocean Shores, which is the rocket power world. So Jimmy Neutron, of course, sends us off again. And not gonna lie, I did not know what I was looking at most of the time when I was in this world. As I said, I haven't watched Rocket Power, but I know like Rocket Power, the Wild Thornberries, and the Rugrats, they're like all in the same world, I think. I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong. Other than that, like I did not know any references like the last world, like SpongeBob. So for the first level, they had us in this beach area, and like there's nothing really to note. I just like all the characters from Rocket Power skating. I don't know, it just like scratched the itch in my brain because I do enjoy it in some skating content, not gonna lie. And then over here we got Wanda and Cosmo near the tree, and then a character from the Wild Thornberries playing with Sandy Cheeks volleyball. And that was all I caught in that level. Then they sent us to this next level, which looks like the city, and look we have some Rugrats characters here, but they look like teenagers. Then the level after that, they sent us into the forest or the jungle where the Wild Thornberries are. Like, see, I've seen these characters before, but I've really never watched the show. Like, I know where they're from, but I don't know anything else about their personality and like what they be doing and stuff. The last place just took place in a residential area near the beach. Yeah, that was basically it for this world. And then the boss for this world ended up being Robot Squidward. He ended up being pretty dog water as well. You see how fast I finished this level? Like, I just need to speed it up and it's done. I did find it funny when you take a picture of Robot Squidward, motherfucker would just freeze in the air in that weird position. Once I finished playing with my food over here, Jimmy Neutron sent me to Danny Phantom's world. So for this world, I went with my boy Tommy Pickles. I didn't even know his last name was Pickles, to be honest. I played with Tommy through the first level, and I don't know, I wasn't really feeling Tommy, so I went back and switched. I was trying to figure out what character I wanted to use, and I don't know, something about Arnold drew me to him, so I picked Arnold. The Danny Phantom world was cool. It was very nostalgic. I really loved the map of each level. It just reminded me of the show, but I didn't catch as many references because I didn't really rewatch Danny Phantom, even though I watched a lot of it, unlike another show that I rewatched a lot. But yeah, there were some cool things that I noticed in this world. Seeing Sandy fly across my screen doing this flying jump kick to the octopus was pretty I enjoyed it. Good Sandy. And then we got Jenny Robot chilling on the stairs. She kind of reminds me of white people in Brooklyn right now. I don't know why. Seeing Skulker get beat up by a gorilla was pretty funny. This is one of the things I remembered in the show. So Skulker would get these gorilla notifications in the show.
I, Skulker, shall take photos of gorilla.
And that's why I appreciate that they added this to this level. And I didn't really realize this as a kid, I think, but yo, Danny's mom? Nah, never mind. Seeing Paulina being taken over by a ghost was also cool to see here. This Danny Phantom and Lunch Lady ghost scene was pretty swag to watch, I'm not gonna lie. I felt like I was in an anime. And just like that, we made it to the boss. The robot we are facing in this boss fight is Robot Helga. Can you guess how this boss fight went for me? Yeah, it was pretty easy. I finished it first try and pretty quickly again. So Robot Helga is dog water as well. So after that, Jimmy sends me to the last world, and that world is the all grown up world, in which I know jack about. All I know, as I said earlier, is that the characters are just grown up characters from the Rugrats, which makes sense because the show's name is All Grown Up. Anyways, whatever. So the all grown up world to me was alright. Because I don't watch the show, I didn't really catch any of the references. Also, the location just looks pretty mid to me. I'm not gonna lie. I also noticed a lot of differences in the levels of the world compared to the others. I'm not saying you don't have to jump in the other levels, but you basically don't even need to unless you're in the boss fight, and even then you don't even really need to jump. But in this world, if you don't jump, you are definitely gonna be missing some characters. Also, I don't know if it's because I don't really know the show, but the levels in this world just felt way longer, and I just felt like it was dragging. I'm just gonna chalk it up to me being bored and not interested because I don't really care about the show. So after I ran through the levels, I ended up in the boss fight, and the robot I will be fighting is Robot Crocker with Robot Vicky. So it was basically a 2v1, so I thought this was gonna be a little bit more challenging compared to the other fight, and boy was I wrong. This boss fight was very easy. But yeah, we move on. What kind of boss battle is this? Shit was too light. After beating all those bum robots, this scene pops up. Oh my god. Zim is crashing out. Invader Zim is crashing out. Is he frying his ass? Oh my god, look at him. So Jimmy gets to yapping again, and basically his plan is to fly over to Zim's UFO and stop that motherfucker from crashing out. So we head over to the ship in Kingdom Hearts style, and we are now on Invader Zim's ship. So we see Invader Zim crashing out live in front of us, and then we get thrown right into the boss fight, where we have to stop Invader Zim from crashing out, and of course we gotta stop Gur also. So in this boss fight, we just gotta take pictures of Invader Zim, but while we have to take pictures of Invader Zim, this motherfucker is running back and forth left and right while throwing screws and whatever tools he got around his ship. Doesn't sound hard, right? Well, yeah, it wasn't even hard. Once we took Invader Zim's lunch money, of course Zim's ship starts to malfunction, so we gotta carry Zim's around his ship in order to fix his problem. Doing charity work out here, we really are. I low-key died during this easy part, but yo, don't watch that, don't watch that. So I get back up again, of course, and we continue. Then we find what was malfunctioning with the ship, and we just basically had to stop the smoke from coming out during this level. And once we stopped the smoke from coming out, once we did that, we saved Invader Zim, and of course ourselves. Haha. Of course, Invader Zim is still being an ungrateful piece of. Of course, we stay humble and we move on. So we leave that greedy, ungrateful motherfucker alone on his ship, and we land back on our world. So then Jimmy and all the characters from around the world that helped him stop Invader Zim all had a party for beating that motherfucker. We had a whole party in his name. Oh, fuck you, Invader Zim. We love you, Dogger. We love you. And that is the end of the game. I really enjoyed playing this game, honestly. It was very nostalgic. It took me back to back in my days type shit. It only took me 2 hours to finish this game, so it was something nice to do on a Friday night. Take me down memory lane a bit. So I want to keep doing this with other games. But yeah, I almost 100% of the game. I wanted to, but I don't want to replay these levels. They're really repetitive. But I did end up 98%ing the game. So almost 100. But if you made it to the end of the video, I really appreciate you. And you should low-key like the video, because you basically watched the whole video already. So go like that up. Subscribe if you want to. And now I'll stop pressing you and I'll leave you alone. Thanks guys, I'm out. Besitos.